Before BMW became a symbol of luxury speed and status, before it ruled highways and racetracks, BMW wasn't even a car company. This is the story of failure survival and one of the greatest comebacks in automotive history. In 1913, a German engineer named Karl Rapp founded a company in Munich. Its purpose building aircraft engines. The company was called Rapp Motor and Work. During World War I, aircraft engines were in high demand and aviation was the future. But there was a problem. The engines were unreliable. Financial losses increased, and eventually Karl Rapp was forced to leave his own company. More stories would end here, but this one was just getting started. In 1917, the company was restructured and renamed BMW Berisk Motor. And with a new name came a legendary logo. The blue and white colors represented Bavaria, and the circular design symbolized a spinning aircraft propeller. BMW had officially been born. After World War I, Germany was banned from producing aircraft engines. For BMW, this was devastating. Their core business was gone. No planes, no engines, no future. BMW was on the edge of collapse. Instead of giving up, BMW made a bold decision. They entered the motorcycle industry. In 1923, BMW launched its first motorcycle, BMW R32. It was powerful, reliable, and revolutionary. This single motorcycle saved BMW from extinction. For the first time, BMW found stability. In 1928, BMW stepped into a completely new territory, cars. Their first car was called BMW Dixie. It wasn't luxurious, it wasn't fast, but it worked. And slowly, BMW began building a reputation for something different. Precision engineering, driving pleasure. World War II changed everything. BMW factories were bombed. Production stopped. The company was almost bankrupt. BMW survived by making pots, pans, and bicycles just to stay alive. Yes, one of the world's greatest car brands once made kitchen items. Later, BMW launched a tiny car called the Isetta. It wasn't glamorous, but it kept BMW alive. In the 1960s, BMW made a bold decision. They would no longer chase mass-market cars. Instead, BMW chose a clear identity, sporty, premium, driver-focused. This led to the birth of legendary cars like the BMW 3 Series, the BMW 5 Series, and later the iconic BMW M Series. BMW wasn't just making cars anymore. BMW was creating driving machines. Today, BMW stands for Luxury Performance Innovation Status. From electric cars to super performance machines, BMW continues to evolve. Without forgetting its roots, what started as a failing aircraft engine company is now one of the most respected automotive brands on earth. BMW's story teaches us one thing. It doesn't matter how many times you fail. What matters is how many times you reinvent yourself. From the skies to the roads to legends. This is BMW. But the story doesn't end with success. It deepens. In the 1990s, BMW faced a new kind of challenge. Not survival, but identity. As the automotive world globalized, BMW had a choice, expand or stay pure. They chose expansion, but it nearly cost them everything. In 1994, BMW acquired the British luxury brand Rover Group for $800 million. It seemed brilliant on paper, combining German precision with British heritage, gaining access to new markets, and diversifying their portfolio. The business world applauded the move. Analysts called it visionary. But it became one of BMW's biggest mistakes. Cultural clashes emerged immediately. German engineering discipline met British manufacturing traditions, and they didn't blend, they collided. Quality issues plagued Rover vehicles. Financial losses mounted quarter after quarter. The bleeding wouldn't stop. By 2000, BMW had lost over $4 billion on the Rover adventure. The media turned brutal. Headlines screamed about BMW's arrogance, their failed British invasion, their strategic blunder. Shareholders demanded answers. The company's stock price tumbled. Critics said BMW had lost its way, that they'd betrayed their core identity in pursuit of empire building. Some called for heads to roll. Others predicted BMW would never recover from this humiliation. But once again, BMW didn't collapse. They learned. In what seemed like a retreat, BMW sold Rover in 2000 for just £10, essentially giving it away. The business world saw defeat, but BMW saw something else: clarity. They had learned a brutal lesson about staying true to their DNA, about the difference between expansion and dilution. From the Rover disaster, BMW kept one small jewel: Mini. And here's where the genius emerged. Instead of treating Mini as a budget brand or trying to make it German, BMW did something counterintuitive. They kept Mini British. They kept it quirky, fun, distinctive. But they infused it with BMW engineering, reliability, and premium positioning. They transformed the classic British icon into a global phenomenon: premium, playful, profitable. The new Mini launched in 2001 and became an instant cult classic. It appealed to younger buyers, urban drivers, people who wanted premium quality without traditional luxury stuffiness. What seemed like failure became one of BMW's smartest moves. Mini proved that BMW had learned to preserve character while delivering quality, that heritage and modernity could coexist, that smaller could still mean premium. The dawn of a new century, a new challenge. As the 2000s progressed, BMW faced mounting pressure from all sides. Japanese manufacturers like Lexus and Infiniti were attacking the luxury segment with reliability and value. Mercedes-Benz was expanding aggressively. Audi was winning younger buyers with cutting-edge design. And beneath it all, a darker question loomed: what happens when the world stops wanting what you're selling? Climate change entered public consciousness. Fuel prices spiked. Emissions regulations tightened. Suddenly, BMW's identity, powerful engines, driving pleasure, performance, seemed out of step with the times. Environmentalists criticized BMW as part of the problem. Some cities talked about banning combustion engines entirely. The very thing that made BMW special, the roar of an inline six, the precision of a manual transmission, the thrill of acceleration, was becoming politically incorrect. BMW could have gone defensive. They could have lobbied against regulations, denied climate science, delayed the inevitable. Many companies did. Instead, BMW made a choice that shocked the automotive world. Then came the ultimate reinvention. In 2007, BMW announced something called Project I, a bold initiative to reimagine the automobile for a sustainable future. Not just hybrid versions of existing cars, but completely new vehicles built from the ground up for electric power. The skepticism was immediate and fierce. BMW makes the ultimate driving machines, not golf carts. Electric cars are for tree huggers, not BMW drivers. They're abandoning everything that made them great. Traditional BMW enthusiasts felt betrayed. Automotive journalists questioned whether BMW understood their own brand. Even within the company, engineers who had spent careers perfecting combustion engines wondered if their expertise had become obsolete overnight. But BMW's leadership held firm. They understood something crucial: reinvention isn't betrayal, it's survival. In 2013, exactly 100 years after Karl Rapp's first company, BMW launched the BMW i3, their first mass-produced electric car. It was radical in every way: carbon fiber construction, rear-wheel drive, instant electric torque, minimalist interior, suicide doors, recycled materials. It looked nothing like a traditional BMW. It drove nothing like a traditional BMW. And that was exactly the point. BMW wasn't trying to make an electric version of a 3 Series. They were imagining what a BMW could be if you started with a blank sheet and asked, What does premium driver-focused mobility look like in an electric future? The i3 was followed by the i8 in 2014, a hybrid supercar that looked like it had driven straight out of a science fiction movie. With butterfly doors, a plug-in hybrid powertrain, and futuristic design, the i8 proved that electric could be exotic, that sustainability could be sexy, that BMW's commitment to driving pleasure could survive the transition to electrification. The deeper transformation. But the i-Series represented more than just new products. It represented a fundamental shift in how BMW thought about itself. For decades, BMW's identity had been wrapped around one thing: the engine. The inline six became legendary. The V8s were symphonies of engineering. The sound, the power delivery, the mechanical perfection. This was BMW's soul. Going electric meant letting go of that identity. It meant admitting that the future of driving pleasure might not involve combustion at all. It meant BMW engineers learning entirely new skills: battery chemistry, electric motor optimization, software integration, energy management. Some of BMW's best combustion engine engineers retired rather than transition. It was too painful to watch their life's work become legacy technology. Others embraced the challenge, recognizing that engineering excellence could exist in any powertrain. The transformation wasn't smooth. The i3, while groundbreaking, had limited range that made some buyers anxious. Its unusual styling was polarizing. Sales were modest compared to traditional BMWs. Critics pounced, saying this proved electric was a niche, that BMW should stick to what it knew. But BMW persisted. Because they'd learned from history that survival requires evolution, even when evolution is uncomfortable. The lesson deepens. BMW's story reveals something profound about organizational survival. The company has died and been reborn not once, but repeatedly. From aircraft engines to motorcycles, complete industry pivot. From prosperity to bankruptcy to kitchen utensils, survival through humility. From mass market to premium, strategic repositioning. From rover failure to mini success, learning from mistakes. From combustion to electric, technological revolution. Each transformation required BMW to question its identity, to let go of what made it successful, to embrace uncertainty. Each time, there were people inside and outside the company saying, "This isn't who we are, we're losing our soul." And each time, BMW discovered that its soul wasn't in the products. It was in the principles: precision engineering, driving pleasure, innovation, premium quality. These could be expressed through aircraft engines or electric motors, through motorcycles or urban EVs. Today, BMW faces its greatest test yet. The challenges now are bigger than anything in BMW's past. Autonomous vehicles threaten to eliminate driving altogether, making BMW's ultimate driving machine slogan obsolete. Chinese competitors like BYD, NIO, and XPeng are advancing electric technology at breathtaking speed with government backing and massive scale. Software is becoming more important than hardware. Today's luxury buyers care as much about touchscreen responsiveness and app integration as they do about suspension tuning. Tesla showed that a car company could succeed by thinking like a tech company, and traditional automakers are scrambling to catch up. Climate regulations are tightening globally. The European Union plans to ban new combustion engine sales by 2035. California is implementing similar rules. The business model that sustained BMW for decades has a visible expiration date. A new generation of buyers cares less about owning cars and more about accessing mobility. Car sharing, ride-hailing, subscription services. These trends threaten traditional automotive economics. Why buy a BMW when you can Uber? And perhaps most challenging, BMW must navigate geopolitical tensions. China is their largest market, but Western governments are pressuring companies to reduce Chinese dependence. Supply chains for batteries and electronics are political battlegrounds. Every strategic decision has diplomatic implications. But if history teaches us anything, never bet against a company that's already survived the impossible. BMW has faced extinction multiple times. After World War I, when their core business was banned. After World War II, when their factories were rubble. In the 1960s, when they nearly went bankrupt, with the Rover disaster in the 1990s. Each time, the smart money said BMW was finished. Each time, BMW proved them wrong.